Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 419 based on novel. So let's start. Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor were horrified by how the tables had turned. How is it possible? It shouldn't be this strong. Neither Shock Demon Ancestor nor Dream Demon Ancestor could understand it. Although they had suffered a huge loss in the first battle against the humans, they hadn't told the automaton race or the bug race about the valuable that had the mind shock power, as they had wanted to weaken they two races. However, the bug race and the automaton race weren't stupid. When they were distributing the universe masters, they firmly demanded that the great beings from the three races should be equally distributed at 3 places. The ship under the protection of Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor, the Black Oval of Father God, and the Emperor's Palace all had universe masters from 3 races, so every power would suffer roughly the same, which could ensure the unity among the 3 races. And then Dream Demon Ancestor and Shock Demon Ancestor found an excuse to mention the mind shock. The Bug Race Empress and Father God asked universe masters like Forbidden Master, who had survived the mind shock, and they had confirmed that only limit universe master minds could resist it. There are 80 universe masters in Emperor's Palace. Although those who have the best chance to become Universe Supreme Masters didn't participate, 3 of them have the minds of Universe Supreme Masters, and 11 of them have limit Universe Master minds. There are 16 godly bodies like that in total. Combined, they are able to rival 2 Universe Supreme Masters, and the energy domain they form can easily resist the swallowing power from Black Prison Tower. Plus, they have the capacity to protect other Universe Masters as well. No matter how powerful the enemies are, Empress can still put them in the palace. This was the plan of the 3 races. However, the mind-shocking valuable was more powerful than last time, which was totally unexpected. I've never heard of mind-shocking valuables that can threaten universe masters. The human race got 2 of them. And the second one is more powerful than the first one. Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor were shocked. Bug Empress was anxious as well. Bug Empress transmitted her voice. Top-tier true treasure palaces. Pinnacle true treasure palaces. You 3, get in the true treasure palaces first and get as many universe masters around you in there as possible. Quick! In the distance, Luophone was controlling Ancient God Eye on boat of Mausoleum. Ancient God Eye was close to Empress Palace, and it attacked the universe masters again and again, rendering them powerless. Palace! Palace! The top 3 beings from the subsidiary race knew that even if they hid in the palaces would be swallowed by Black Prison Tower. They immediately followed Bug Empress's orders. 3 palaces showed up. 2 of them were pinnacle palaces, and 1 was a top-tier palace. Quick, protect the other universe masters. Bug Empress urged them. Come in. Come in. The 3 powerful universe masters all enlarged their palace true treasures, and they tried to put all the universe masters in their palaces. Bug Empress also acted. Swallow! Bug Empress tried to swallow the universe masters from the human team before. Now, she changed her target and tried to swallow the 80 universe masters from the United Forces Alliance. The swallowing power worked on the 3 palaces and the universe masters floating around them. Empress Palace and Black Prison Tower. It tried to swallow the 80 universe masters at the same time. The power immediately slowed the universe masters, while the 3 universe masters of other races also tried to fight. However, Luophone, Pengong Master, and other universe masters from the human team started to attack. They were so close, and the human team had attacked too fast. Even if the 3 universe masters all took out their palace true treasures and put the floating universe masters in, they only managed to put in most of them. Some universe masters were still floating in the distance. The blade of light and the rod-shaped shadow swept across them. The mental force of Ancient God Eye was still working. The universe masters who were floating in the sky didn't even know that any danger was coming. No. Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor roared. No. Father God was also in agony, as one of the universe masters who died was from automaton race. A top-tier level 6 universe master was able to kill a top-tier level 3 universe master with 1 attack. And that was even when the top-tier level 3 universe master used everything he could to resist the attacks. Now, when those universe masters were unconscious and unable to resist, even level 4 great beings would be killed. The storm of attacks over level 7 could kill even level 5 great beings if they didn't resist it. 22 godly bodies were annihilated immediately. 22 godly bodies, 18 universe masters. 6 of them have multiple bodies. Some of them lost one body, and some of them have 2 bodies. However, the other 12 universe masters lost their lives forever. 12 universe masters. The 4 universe supreme masters were all in agony. Bug Empress and the other 3 conscious universe masters avoided being swallowed because they had the palaces to protect them. The United Forces Alliance was furious. However, they were also relieved, as their worst nightmare was that all the universe masters would be swallowed. Plan number 3. Luophone transmitted his voice. Plan number 3. Darkness Master also gave an order in Black Prison Tower. The human universe masters and the universe masters of other races on the human team were all excited. What had just happened was amazing. They had killed 22 universe master bodies in total, and they presumed that at least 10 were dead, even if some had multiple bodies. But this was only the first step of the counterattack. Plan number 3, attack. 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 The universe masters started to attack Father God and the 2 demon ancestors. Half of the attacks were aimed at Father God. The other half was aimed at the 2 demon ancestors. Humans are so arrogant. Shock Demon Ancestor roared. Humans should die? Universe masters from the United Forces Alliance were standing at the door of the spaceship and the Black Oval. They were all enraged and were counterattacking the humans as well. However, they were careful, remaining close by Universe Supreme Masters. Ancient Godai kept sweeping across the 3 palaces, flying toward Empress Palace so that the 62 Universe Masters weren't able to wield their real power. After all, the 62 Universe Masters were the central power of the United Forces Alliance. If Ancient Godai left, the power would be fully utilized again. That was why they had to be suppressed. The human team kept attacking the automaton race and the demon race. Ancient Godai suppressed the 62 Universe Masters. At the same time, Luophone and Pengong Master started to move. Capture. Luophone stood in space, and a giant being appeared beside him. It was a golden horned beast with scaled black wings. There were 2 bloodstains on the black wings. The white wing was an exceptionally advanced supreme true treasure, so it can change its color easily. Luophone, golden horned beast, and Pengong Master attacked at the same time. Duan Mier. Golden horned beast roared. This was the first time that he had performed Duan Mier, one of the core techniques from Duan Dong River. Although he had created Nirvana Incarnation, the power of the white wing was still inferior to Blood Shadow Blade, even if it was better than ordinary supreme true treasures. Golden Horned Beast could barely reach level 6 without Duan Mier. However, after performing it, it could reach top tier level 6 instantly. The blade of light was thin at the beginning, and it became thicker and thicker, sweeping across the sky and land. The other streak of bloody light followed almost the same trajectory. It was a combination of 3 top-tier level 6 powers. Together with the attacks from the other 50 Universe Masters, they all fell on Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor. You can't even harm me. Humans. Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor weren't scared, despite being surprised by the power of this golden horned beast. Shock Demon Ancestor became very cautious. He had learned a lesson before. He immediately transmitted his voice to the Universe Masters between him and Dream Demon Ancestor, saying, "Get into the ship." At the same time, an enormous object showed up. A tall tower showed up. There were 9 levels. It was more than 100 billion kilometers tall, and it kept surging. There was an abyss under the tower, and a drop of godly blood was stuck to the abyss. Star Tower. The humans have Star Tower. Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor were both dazed. Under the combined attacks from the 50 Universe Masters and 3 top-tier level 6 power, even Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor bounced away. Under this situation, Star Tower's appearance was catastrophic for them. No. Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor both roared. Star Tower. No. Father God and Bug Empress were also anxious. Luophone and Golden Horned Beast, who were making attacks, both said, "Swallow." Their godly power and minds were driving Star Tower. This was the first time that Star Tower had appeared. The Pinnacle True Treasure ship immediately flew toward the abyss under Star Tower. Some Universe Masters tried to fly out, but they were swallowed immediately after flying out. To the united force of the 3 races, there was a sudden twist of events on the battlefield. Indeed, it was disastrous for them. The humans' counterattack consisted of a series of repeated attacks, putting their force at an advantageous position. The united forces of the three races were about to suffer a crushing defeat. Ancient God I appeared suddenly to suppress the most powerful troop within the united force of the three races, the combined troop of 80 Universe Masters. The combined attack by over 50 godly bodies, all of whom had powers at a Universe Master level, was enough to send the entire force on Father God's side flying back. They were driven to immediate retreat without being able to render help to the two demon ancestors at all. Golden Horned Beast body suddenly appeared. Shortly after, it joined Luo Feng's original body, Pengong, and more than 50 godly bodies. The resulting attack sent Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor flying into the distance right away. At the most critical moment, Star Tower finally appeared. It was executing its ability to swallow and suppress. Originally, the 16 Universe Masters, who, in fact, had a total of 18 godly bodies, had been hiding within the vessel. With their powers combined, they could resist the suction force of Star Tower. However, at the deepest area of the black hole of the deep abyss within Star Tower, there was still a drop of godly blood. For this war, the most important troop within the united force of the three races was the one consisting of 80 Universe Masters in Empress Palace. To prevent accidents from happening, almost all of those with the willpower of top-tier Universe Masters and Universe Supreme Masters were included in this troop of 80 Universe Masters. This was the reason why, out of the 16 Universe Masters within the vessel that Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor were protecting, only one had the willpower at the ultimate limit of a Universe Master. The rest were not up to this standard. So, in the face of an impact by that godly blood, as many as half the members of their troop were knocked unconscious on the spot. 3 went weak at the knees. Only one managed to resist the impact of that willpower and continued to stay awake. But only one managed to unleash an outburst of his normal combat power. How was he able to resist the suction of Star Tower at the same time? Even if this vessel, which belonged to Shock Demon Ancestor, was manipulated by him from afar, there was no way he could put up a resistance concurrently. After all, even if Shock Demon Ancestor had control over one Palace Supreme True Treasure, when pitted against Luo Feng's Star Tower, it would, at most, be equivalent to Star Tower. He was merely able to control this pinnacle True Treasure Palace, so there was naturally no way he could put up any resistance. No, Demon Ancestor. The cabin doors opened, and 2 figures flew out. They wanted to escape, yet they felt like a small wooden boat that had fallen into a vast ocean whirlpool. No matter how they struggled, they could not resist the gravitational force at all. Everything was sucked into the Star Tower, including the vessel that was a pinnacle True Treasure Palace, and the 2 Universe Masters who had flown out. Silence returned. Far away, in the void space of the Dark Universe, there were numerous Universe Supreme Masters either in their original bodies or their avatars. There were also Universe Masters deployed by various groups, some of whom were acquaintances who were familiar with one another and were chatting or exchanging their views when they met up. However, the moment they saw that the tables were turned and the situation was worsening, they were completely shocked. The situation had been reversed. And it was a major reversal. The united force of the three races was banished to the bottomless deep abyss. They had lost. A crushing defeat. They actually lost. Out of the numerous Universe Supreme Masters who were scattered all over, sitting Mountain Guest, who sat cross-legged on the Cyan Mountain peak, registered a shocked expression on his face as he sighed and lamented, "How surprising. So surprising. Lost? The united force of the three races actually lost?" The purple-robed figure also lamented with a sigh. The situation is going to become troublesome. The united force of the three races has suffered a great loss this time. They have lost too many Universe Masters. Indeed, this is a disaster. And the human force owns a true treasure possessing impactful willpower. This will deprive the group of Universe Masters of the united force of any possible grounds of unleashing their power. Without the help of that group of Universe Masters, the 4 Universe Supreme Masters alone will definitely not be enough to fight the entire human force. The old beast god shook his head with a sigh. Hopeless. The united force of the three races has been defeated. It is impossible for them to even try to struggle. What a devastating defeat. The huge, winding black monster let out a piercing voice. Many have died. Ha ha. Shockhorn and Dream Tea, that pair of bastards. The demons should have known that working with them would eventually lead to their downfall. A ball of flame let out a voice. Lost. They have lost to the impactful willpower of that true treasure within the human force. Right, that true treasure with its impactful willpower. That true treasure was the reason the situation was reversed. The troop consisted of universe masters with the strongest powers, and yet, they were all rendered useless by that true treasure. The numerous universe supreme masters were all sighing. Just what kind of a true treasure is that? We are too far away, and the power within the battlefield is under too much fluctuation. There is no way we can get a clear view. And the impact of willpower is intangible. There is no way to judge what kind of true treasure is causing it. But, judging from the reaction of the group of universe masters of the united force of the three races, they must have met with the impact of that willpower. Hasn't anyone noticed Star Tower? Star Tower. Of course, I see it. It's just that I had not expected it to be in the hands of the human race. And it seems like Luophone is the one controlling it. Oh, Star Tower. Previously, we all have tried our best, but no one was able to control it. Who would have expected that it would fall into Luophone's hands? The numerous universe supreme masters started lamenting and shaking their heads amidst sighs. The power of Star Tower was undoubtedly extremely strong. The only problem was, in the past, no one was able to get it to recognize them as its master. Such a supreme true treasure. A palace type, indeed. Such palace type true treasures were extremely rare, to start with. In the entire primal universe, with all the universe supreme masters put together, those who owned a palace supreme true treasure might add up to only 2. Yet, in this war, the humans first presented Black Prison Tower, which had originally belonged to East Emperor Holy Land. Then, they revealed that they had Star Tower, a true treasure that had previously recognized no master. The human force is so powerful. They have such a big group of universe masters. And, they have a rod-type attack supreme true treasure and 2 palace supreme true treasures. Especially that Luophone. That Luophone in his original human body, together with his golden horned beast body. Both with combat power at 6th tier as the top level. I have long heard of him having a beast body, and he also has that Mosha body that previously made an appearance. Come to think of it, it may be because he seized his golden horned beast body from his winnings. Thus, he was able to subsequently divide himself into 3 different bodies. Both the original body and the other body are able to unleash an outburst of combat power at the 6th tier level. True, that Luophone's human original body and that other golden horned beast body are both capable of unleashing combat powers at the 6th tier as the top level. Could it be that his blade and that pair of wings are both supreme true treasures, too? This is too many treasures. This Luophone has actually received the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River. He has met with such a great opportunity that you can never envy enough. It might not necessarily be a supreme true treasure. He has previously broken through the basic inheritance of the blade and seized the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River. Based on the information I know, previously, when he broke through the basic inheritance, he was already able to create a secret technique at the level of a universe supreme master. Judging by his blade technique, I supposed his blade technique is also already at the level of a universe supreme master. For ordinary universe masters to show power at the 6th tier, they would need to rely on their godly power. A godly power of 10,000 times of life genes would activate the secret engravings on their supreme true treasures, which would allow them to execute the secret technique at the level of a universe supreme master. And Luophone? Even without the help of a supreme true treasure, he could already execute a secret technique at the level of a universe supreme master, which was his own creation. If he really was a universe master with 10,000 times life genes, even without a supreme true treasure, so long as he executed Nirvana Renaissance, he could still achieve an outburst of combat power at the level of the 6th tier as the top. His only disadvantage was that his godly power was a notch weaker. Theoretically, his ability was only at a 5th tier top level. Relying on Blood Ghost Blade, he managed to make it to the 6th tier as the top level. Relying on the white pair of wings, he barely made it to the 6th tier, so he needed to execute Extermination to achieve an outburst of power at a 6th tier as the top level. Old Beast God. That Luophone has a golden horned beast body. Why aren't you showing any reaction to it? Since this golden horned beast that he won could allow him to cultivate another body, it also means that this golden horned beast has yet to become undying. My Space Beast Alliance, those space beasts who are weaker are destined to live their lives wandering about the universe. Be it life or death, their fate lies within their control. The old beast god said this in a leisure tone. I'm leaving. This war is over. Let's go. I had initially pinned my hopes on the united force of the 3 races to save us some effort. It seems like they are still not up to it. Now, it's time for me to start preparing well. The numerous Universe Supreme Masters went still for a moment. Shortly after, they all left the Dark Universe. Those Universe Masters who were secretly observing the situation from afar also started to leave one by one. After Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor were blown off in the air, they were fast in returning without delay, but they were still too late. Humans! Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor yelled and roared. They were extremely angry. They all deserve to die? Father God of the automaton race was also extremely angry. Loathsome, detestable humans. Revolting. Empress appeared outside her palace that in the distance. Her face also registered rage. The 4 Universe Supreme Masters of the 3 races were indeed at the apex of their anger. Hovering in a horizontal manner amidst the void space by the cabin doors of the boat of Mausoleum was none other than ancient God Eye. It was still sweeping the surroundings repeatedly, as it consistently maintained a sharp eye that was directed at Empress Palace. The moment that group of 62 Universe Masters dared to step foot out of Empress Palace, they would be in danger of being swept under the impact of the willpower of this ancient God Eye. Ha ha ha, Luo Feng laughed heartily. In midair, the huge, lofty star tower rapidly shrunk and directly landed on the Golden Horned Beast's back. Golden Horned Beast carried Star Tower on its back. Beside it was Luo Feng with his silver wings widespread. Further down the row was Peng Gong Master, who was holding onto Yang Jun Rod, and from afar, Black Prison Tower was making its way over. Behind them all was the massive boat of Mausoleum whose length spanned a distance of 10 billion kilometers. Do you all still want to go on with another round of battle? Luo Feng shouted. Demons, Buck Clan, Automaton Race. Peng Gong Master also shouted out. If you 3 races still want to go on for another round, we are most willing to oblige. The united forces of the 3 races were so angry that they were on the verge of going crazy. But looking at Black Prison Tower, then looking over to Star Tower being carried on the back of that Golden Horned Beast, these were 2 palace-type true treasures they were talking about. Besides, those who had some prior bits of information could easily deduce that that Golden Horned Beast body was likely Luo Feng's other body. Luo Feng's original body and other bodies were all equipped with combat power at a 6th tier as the top level. This was the same as Peng Gong's combat power. In terms of the 6th tier as the top level combat power, the human race fared pretty well. Besides, it also had a large troop of Universe Masters. And a treasure with impactful willpower that could suppress the power of the opposing united force of 3 races, so that they could not unleash their full potential. And the human race also had 2 palace-type supreme true treasures. Humans, you won only because you had supreme true treasures. Shock Demon Ancestor bellowed. That's about it. He was, certainly, at the apex of his rage. Ha ha ha. What a great joke. Luo Feng held out his left hand, and Star Tower, which was beside him, flew right to the middle of his palm where it remained suspended in the air. Luo Feng laughed with gaiety as he said, being able to see supreme true treasures is also an ability. Just like the inheritance of the pulse of Duandong River, within the entire universe ocean, who would not have heard about it? Everyone obviously came for it, but I, Luo Feng, was the one who won it. This is what we call an ability. Don't be such a bad sport. If not for Father God of the automaton race who hid himself in that black sphere and refused to come out. It must have been afraid that the group of Universe Masters under its protection would be sucked over by us humans once and for all. The human team had come up with many plans before the war regarding how powerful the humans were, relative to the United Forces Alliance. When they were fighting, the human team immediately realized how powerful the United Forces Alliance was, and the human team was at a disadvantage. The human race tried to keep showing their weakness so that the real body of Father God would come out. However, Universe Masters led by Darkness Master couldn't resist the attacks for long. If they kept displaying their weaknesses, they might be crushed. That was why Luo Feng decided to counterattack. That's their plan. The United Forces Alliance was terrified. Father God was also scared. They had been at an absolute advantage at first. He did, indeed, want to emerge and fight the human team in close quarters, as that way, he could wield more power. As for Luo Feng, he was afraid that the Universe Masters of his own team wouldn't be able to resist the attacks much longer, which was why they had enacted the backup plan so soon. Why are you so smug? Father God shouted. You just got the strange valuable by luck. Without that strange valuable, you would definitely have lost. Luo Feng held Star Tower, standing in the space of the dark universe and shaking his head. Pengong Master shouted, "How big of a loser are you to search for excuses for losing the war? You don't have the demeanor of a Universe Supreme Master, Father God. I despise you." The two teams stood in the area, yet neither team was willing to back down from the dispute. However, neither of them was fighting. The human race realized that only Universe Supreme Masters were outside the palaces, so they couldn't kill them. As for the United Forces Alliance, they knew that they would be totally crushed if they kept fighting. Shock Demon Ancestor, Dream Demon Ancestor, Father God, and Bug Empress, shouted Luo Feng. He glanced at the three powers in the distance. "Some Universe Masters of your races are kept in my Star Tower. Do you want them back?" "Of course, we do," said the Black Oval. Both the Silver Snake and the Sawtooth-shelled Strange Beast looked at Luo Feng, and so did Bug Empress. The voice of Bug Empress sounded seductive, despite the fact that she did not intend it to. She had been born that way. "Name your price," she said. "It's simple," Luo Feng said. "For the next era, the Universe Masters and Universe Supreme Masters can't enter the human territory. If you can do that, I'll give you back all the Universe Masters detained, as well as their true treasures." "This is the only requirement," said Pengong Master. "Do you agree?" Luo Feng gazed at the Supreme Masters from the Three-Race Alliance. He was well aware that winning the fight against the United Forces Alliance greatly improved the human circumstances. However, if those neutral powers and lone Universe Supreme Masters attacked them, it would be a nightmare for the humans. If they could keep the United Forces Alliance out of the war by holding some Universe Masters hostage, their situation would be much more advantageous. The four Supreme Masters transmitted their voices to converse with each other. "We've already risked everything for this war," said Father God. "After this fight, I now realize we alone will not be enough. Those powers who wanted us and the human team to suffer great losses will definitely pick a side in the future. We should wait until those powers act. After that, we'll join again. With our combined powers, it'll be easy to get some inheritances." "That's right. We've come so far, so there's no way for us to back down," said Dream Demon Ancestor. "Those who have the best chance to become Universe Supreme Masters are all living in the miniature universes," said Shock Demon Ancestor. "Even though there will be a loss of Universe Masters, most of them are of other races." "I agree," said Bug Empress. They reached a consensus immediately. Compared to the inheritance, the losses they would suffer were bearable. After all, they had come prepared for losses. Golden Horned Beast, Luo Feng, and Pengong Master stood side by side in space, waiting for a response. "Do you really expect us to compromise after you have killed so many great beings of ours?" said Father God angrily. "We'll let you win this time, but you'll regret it soon enough." It seems they've rejected the deal. Luo Feng strolled along with Star Tower in his hand. "You're sending these Universe Masters to their death. Shock Demon Ancestor and Dream Demon Ancestor, I told you last time that you would suffer greater losses. Next time, you won't be able to negotiate." "Negotiate? Next time, you humans will be annihilated. Go. Go." The United Forces Alliance disappeared from the Dark Universe without saying more. Darkness Master stepped out of Black Prison Tower. Pengong Master clenched his teeth. "Those bastards. The United Forces Alliance will return again." Darkness Master also looked anxious. "Besides, many more will come next time. The United Forces Alliance is not giving up." "Of course, they won't give up," said Luo Feng coldly. "The opportunity to transcend incarnations is invaluable. Besides, most of the Universe Masters we captured are from other races. Even though they'll be upset by the losses, it's acceptable to them. For what it's worth, we've won big time," said Darkness Master. "Let's go back first." Okay. Luo Feng, Pengong Master, and Golden Horned Beast flew back to Boat of Mausoleum, and Darkness Master flew back to Black Prison Tower. Boat of Mausoleum and Black Prison Tower left the Dark Universe and went back to the original universe, rushing to the Primal Secret region. Inside Star Tower, the 16 Universe Masters from the United Forces Alliance were separated. 2 were from Demon Race, 1 was from the Automaton Race, and 1 was from the Bug Race. As for the others, they were all from other races. Only 20 Universe Masters were actually from the 3 races of the United Forces Alliance, while a total of 112 Universe Masters had participated. The others were all from the subsidiary races and other races. Only a small portion of them were actually from the 3 races. As for the 16 Universe Masters detained, 4 were from the 3 races, so the percentage was already relatively high. Those 4 were detained in a sealed space, while the other 12 were detained together in a different area. A voice was transmitted into Star Tower. Do you really expect us to compromise after you have killed so many great beings of ours? It seems they've rejected the deal. The negotiation was transmitted in. Damn it. Bastards. Those goddamn bastards. They are willing to let us die just for their own ambitions. The 4 great beings from the 3 races were calm, yet the other 12 Universe Masters of other races cried with outrage. They were all from weak races. Some of them were actually the only Universe Master in their races. What would happen to their races if they died? Although the United Forces Alliance had made a promise to them as to what they would do if the Universe Masters died, it was very easy for a race to be bullied if it had no Universe Masters. Even if the Demon race, the Automaton race, and the Bug race could help them, the 3 races couldn't do anything once other Pinnacle races, like the Prison race, decided to annihilate them. The most they could do was save some lives to allow the race to continue breeding. The 12 Universe Masters of other races swore in anger. As for the other 4, they were angry, but they had to obey the Universe Supreme Masters. Only 3 of the Universe Masters had multiple bodies, but they were not ready to self-destruct yet, as they were still waiting for a chance to get out. After all, they didn't want to give up their bodies and true treasures so easily. It was pure rapture in the main palace of Primal Chaos City. Primal Chaos City leaders stood on the stage of the main palace and looked down at the Universe Masters, excited. Universe Masters, congratulations. Thank you for all your contributions. Thank you all. The 3-race alliance was indeed formidable, but they were still defeated. To the glory of the humans, the glory of the Hong Alliance, and the glory of every one of you. Let's drink up. Everyone was cheerful. Those Universe Masters who had been anxious before were all exhilarated. Even Primal Chaos City leader was elated. As for Luo Feng, Darkness Master, and Pengong Master, they temporarily forgot about the United Forces Alliance's unwillingness to compromise and celebrated the victory. Soon, the Universe Masters started to talk with each other, and Luo Feng was the one who received the most attention. After a long while, Luo Feng and Primal Chaos City leader walked out of the main palace. They didn't agree, asked Primal Chaos City leader. Luo Feng shook his head. It's not unexpected. Those 4 old fellows have great ambitions. However, we need to enact another plan. Okay. Primal Chaos City leader nodded. It may be less ideal than their compromise, but it can still empower us. Another plan was to drive a wedge between them. Most Universe Masters in the United Forces Alliance were from other races. They didn't hold absolute loyalty to the 3 races, and they certainly weren't about to die for them. That was why Luo Feng had purposefully allowed the conversation during the negotiations to be transmitted into Star Tower. They all have avatars in their own races and avatars in the central region of the United Races Alliance, said Primal Chaos City leader slowly. They originally came from lesser powers, especially those with only 2 or 3 Universe Masters. You can certainly draw them to our side. Luo Feng nodded. Yes. We can at least draw some of them to our side so the United Forces Alliance will be weaker and we'll be stronger. I'll go to Star Tower now. I'll persuade them to surrender and try to draw some lesser powers to our side. How about the Universe Masters from the 3 races, asked Primal Chaos City leader. I'll kill them, of course. Luo Feng smirked. It's protocol. After all, only when Luo Feng killed a Universe Master would Sitting Mountain Guest made him a true treasure. This video will end here.